So we had In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, and this is our character discussion. Uh, the first question, the first question is centered around Dick, one of the main characters, and what was his most outstanding quality? Um, we felt that it was his stupidity, just because he does stupid things like writes bad checks or goes back to Kansas after they initially get away with the murder, and he's just not a very smart person, and that eventually leads to their downfall.
Yeah. Um, so, in what way does this character drive the story? So, um, Dick, he is the one that told Perry about the safe, which led to the murder. So he's kind of that driving force. He's basically like the main reason why this book was written is because he told Perry and they went along with the murders.
All right. In what way does this character influence the other characters? Well, Dick got Perry to go with him and try and rob the Clutters. So basically, Dick influenced him to get a gun and get all the materials and try and rob the Clutters.
So moving on to that question, is this character reliable? So I feel that Dick is like the least reliable character in the story. For one, he lied to Perry about having the safe, which contained a couple $1,000s. Also, he was also the first one to snitch about the murders to Alvin when Alvin finally caught up with him and he was interrogating him for answers.
Yeah. I guess he was the first one to snitch, but like at first he didn't want to so I don't know, he's kinda on and off. And the whole thing about lying to Perry, he legitimately thought that there was a safe full of money. He didn't know that there wasn't, so I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate, but yeah. Overall, I would say that he's not reliable.
I think that just kind of goes back to his stupidity too. Just
Yeah.
kind of assuming that there's a safe full of money when, in fact, there wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. I agree, but also in the book, it talked about how basically Floyd, when he was telling Dick about the Clutters, he didn't really stop him and correct him when he just was saying there's a safe full of money. He just kind of went along with it because he didn't think that he would do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he should have known because Dick is kind of stupid and not necessarily right in mind.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to question 2. This one's centered around Perry, another one of the main characters. And we said Perry's most outstanding quality was how smart he was. He constantly corrected Dick's bad grammar. He planned their escape to Mexico and set up all those details. And then he knew returning to Kansas was a stupid idea, yet he went along with it anyways. But he was still smart enough to know that they were likely going to get caught.
Yeah. No. So also, not only did he plan the escape to Mexico, but when they finally got caught and they were in jail, he also tried to plan an escape out of jail because obviously he didn't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So he for months he was planning this escape. So I don't know. It just kind of goes to show that he's always trying to think. He's always trying to be one step ahead of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to, in what way does this character drive the story? So Perry is basically the main murderer of the Clutter family. He's the smarter one, and therefore he is kind of the main he's kind of the mastermind behind all of this. Dick told him about it, but Perry was the one that went through with it, and so he kind of drives that story because he gives the police a reason for all of this in the first place, because he's basically the trigger person.
In what way does this character influence other characters? Well, he influences Dick to not do stupid things. I know, we talked about yesterday. Dick wanted to try and rape Nancy, I think. Nancy, and he like talked him out of doing that. He tried to talk Dick out of like not going back to Kansas, I'm pretty sure. And so like Perry's like always there, and like he always knows like what's right and what's wrong, and Dick just didn't listen to him, and that's why they got caught.
Yeah, he's the logical thinker. Like, he was the one that when they were carrying out the murders, he was the one that wanted to like buy the masks and things like that, so that
Right, so he's always safe.
yeah, like Dick was saying, no witnesses, and Perry was being smart about it, where he was like, well, if we don't want any witnesses, let's buy masks so they can't see our face. Like that'll be better instead of having to brutally murder this entire family. Like he tried to think it through and be smarter about it, but in the end,
So I feel that he's the most reliable character because of his intelligence. Like you said, he was always one step ahead. He always tried to cover their tracks, and I just feel that like he would always complete the task at hand the best he could.
yeah, I feel like if his life had been different, like if he wasn't so emotionally abused as a child, I feel like he would be like a really good person. Like I feel like he would be really reliable. He would probably have a good job, things like that. If his life had been different.
All right, so we're gonna move on to number 3, which is centered around Alvin, who was the main investigator on the case. And I said that his best trait or characteristic was how he's a hard worker and he never gives up. Because I mean, it is a very hard case to crack, and there was like very minimal clues. I think it was a footprint was the only clue they had, and he was able to track down these 2 killers and bring justice by never giving up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, so that really leads to the next question, which is, in what way does this character drive the story again? So like Alvin is my personal favorite character just because he's he's the good guy, but like he's just so smart, and like the fact that he was able to solve this case with virtually no clues except for a footprint is incredible. And so basically he drives the story by like he is the person chasing after the killers. He's trying to bring justice, and so that's really the main reason. Like that's how he drives the story.
In what way does this character influence the other characters? Well, like we said, like he's a hard worker, and like he always like kept pushing his team. Like he started out with like nothing, like we said, and like he didn't ever have anything. And then he finally found a footprint, and when he got that footprint, he just went off with it. He tried to find like them right away, and he went from little evidence to all the evidence, and he caught him in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I really feel like he drives the other people.
Yeah, no, and like specifically, like I remember just now when Alvin and I think it was Dunce, when they were interrogating Perry, he wouldn't give up. Like Perry would just not. He wasn't gonna say anything. He was so set on not saying anything, but they just kept working at him and working at him and working at him, and eventually Perry gave in. And he told the entire story of how it happened. He confessed. So like I don't know. Alvin's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's also very reliable. Like he stayed at work while others left for weeks to try to find evidence that was minimally there. Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's really reliable in his job. Like his wife was like annoyed because he would just come home and only
That's all he focused on.
So.
Right, and like he missed like out on sleep, and he missed his kids like just for this case too. So he's really reliable.
Yeah, and I feel like he's kind of like the guy to go to. Like, so.
All right, so we're gonna move on to question 4, and that is Perry's upbringing and childhood the reason he is so cold-blooded towards everything. And I would definitely say yes. I mean, obviously there is an emotional, mental problem with Perry. I mean, he still wets the bed and sucks his thumb as a grown man.
Yeah, no.
And like we said earlier, if he kind of had a better childhood or a different path, he'd probably be a productive member of society. But I think there's definitely something wrong here that the root is from the beginning.
Yeah, no. I guess that what you said, it could also kind of relate to Shawshank, where like there's a theme of like how the prison system doesn't necessarily work. Like it's supposed to rehabilitate these people who commit crimes, but in reality, it just kind of makes them worse. And so like he goes into prison, and he still, you know, he doesn't get the help that he really needs. Like he should be going to like a mental hospital, try and receive therapy, but it's Anything else?
That's good. And then question 5 is, why did Perry let Dick go back to Kansas? And this one I don't really know because, Perry's the smart one and he knew it was a bad idea, but, he kind of reluctantly went along with it. Part of me kind of thinks maybe Perry wanted to get caught and just kind of, end it and just so, I don't know, because his life was so troubled and he was in a lot of pain with his legs and everything. So honestly though, I don't know.
Right, we talk about like how like Perry's like this smart guy and like he like knows like what's right and what's wrong, but yet he allows Dick to go back and like, he knows that he's stupid. He knows that they get caught, but like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, in the book, Perry is suicidal. So maybe what I'm thinking is like because he's suicidal, he doesn't want to live anymore. He thinks that his life is kind of a waste. Maybe
And he
that-
calls his way out.
he's like giving himself a reason to die basically because he's like, well, if I'm not going to commit suicide, I'll just purposely get caught basically, but not on purpose.
Right.
So I don't know. It's really interesting. I don't know why, because he acknowledged that like he had read in the papers about the murders. He knew that they didn't get away with it. Like, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's my reason too.
That he was suicidal.
Yeah,
Just wanted a
yeah.
reason to die.
Because he wanted to break the light in his cell with the broom,
Mhm.
to cut his wrists and ankles
Yeah.
with the glass. So I mean,
Yeah, no, and like, yeah, I don't know. He also mentioned that like he should have killed Dick.
he had the chance.
When he had the chance at the Clutters multiple times. He had mentioned he should have killed Dick. So like maybe if I don't know, maybe he has some sympathy for Dick. Maybe he feels bad for him, and so like that's why I have no idea.
Well, like you guys said, like suicide. I don't know, like this is like a bad thing to say, but like, why would he just blow his own head off? If he was so suicidal, like, why would he want to go back and spend time in jail and then get hung in front of everyone?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like
I don't think he actually can do it himself. To be honest,
Yeah.
like
like
So it's like hard to like put in words.
like I guess maybe like because he wanted to get away to Mexico, because he thought that they would have a better chance. Like,
Right.
so I don't know, but
Like, maybe they
after
thought-
Mexico, I don't know why he didn't. I assume it's probably just he couldn't bring himself to do it, even though he wanted to. So, because after Mexico, it all went downhill. They were hitchhikers. They were on the run. They got caught. They were in jail. So I don't know.
That's it.